Hello everyone. I'll be starting my this 200 hard question mock exam 9. I attempted it yesterday, 50 questions. Now I'll be attempting 50 more. And also I tried to complete these 50 once again. So in total I'll be aiming at for 100 questions. So let's just start. And I'll be very quick this time, and for from 51 to 100 I'll try to like go slow, but since I've already done these 50 questions, so I'll just go quickly over this so that I'm able to do it in time. Okay, so first question: a project manager is planning the construction of a new public library. The community and project stakeholder are having difficulty agreeing on this. What should the project manager do? He should identify the root cause. Collaborate with the team to discuss the RCA suggestion, decide collectively on the next step, encourage a lead developer, coordinate with the quality assurance, organize the session to ensure team contribute solutions. The product owner suggests conducting a thorough root cause. I don't know. Okay, he should discuss it with the team. Amend the stakeholder engagement plan to better integrate finances in future. Document the exclusion of finance team. Maintain the project timeliness, but plan a financial review before the final phase. Organize a meeting with the finance team to understand the concern. Schedule regular demonstration session during each sprint to show progress and integration steps. Arrange for a technical team to provide detail, organize a training and provide detailed documentation. Okay, so I selected wrong response earlier. Now in this question, let's just break it down so that we know what we are doing. As a part of a project to integrate a new security feature into an online shopping platform, stakeholders have shown concern over understanding the integration process during the planning stage. So basically, stakeholders have a concern regarding the integration process, and it is in the planning phase. What should the project manager do to enhance stakeholders' understanding of the integration? Okay, so I selected the training session to educate the stakeholders of the technical aspect of the integration. So, as per the responses that I received, the prompts that I received for my wrong question, it states that well, training can give them a technical understanding, but it will not be throughout the project life cycle. So it is not a long term solution. So the long term solution here is to schedule regular demonstration session during each sprint to show the progress and integration step so that they know what is changing and in, in what direction the project is going. Um, okay, we need to determine the amount of work for the upcoming scheme. So he need to have product backlog and team performance metrics. Combine weekly sprints with quality, merge traditional milestone, adopt pair programming and customer feedback session, integrate continuous integration tool with formal quality control checkpoints. So the answer was peer programming and customer feedback. Peer programming is wherein one person writes the code and the other person verifies it, and it is done simultaneously so that the output that we are getting is effective, and we are checking the quality in the same way. And for improvement we will have the customer feedback sessions. So it is saying that um, ambiguity and unpredictable unpredictability. A suggestion has made to introduce a system to gauge the quality of the project output effectively. What hybrid technique should the project man employ to ensure quality assurance? So everything that we have here as an option, pair programming is the best to ensure quality assurance, and feedback sessions also will help to improve the product which they are developing. Let's move. Allocate time for the developer to present there. Reinforce the importance of adhering to the sprint's primary goal. Request a special session. Support the development initiatives. Obviously, we should always remain on task. Guide the product owner on developing and prioritizing the product backlog. Yeah, this is the answer. Basically, it says that they need to combine Scrum and Kanban technologies. The product owner is unsure about how to begin organizing and prioritizing the work. I selected recommend that project team, sorry, teach the product owner. So teaching will not help here. And what we are teaching him about the process flows, but we need to tell the product owner how to prioritize the product backlog. So the project manager should guide him, not rather than teaching him. Distribute the entire award to the team member organizer and use the award to fund the professional development. Assign more resources to critical tasks. Develop a milestone based project ensuring regular stakeholder monitor daily progress in a way that integrates input from the project team. I think develop a milestone based ensuring regular stakeholder engagement. After initial risk assessment are completed to estimate at the end of the planning phase once detailed schedules and risk assessment are during the execution phase when the project is underway and progress can be measured. Once the project chart is signed, we will outline the initial milestone. Although the project is in initiation phase, the sponsor keeps asking for concrete dates for most important project. So after the planning phase, we can provide him the milestones and all the information that he is asking. Assign the task to the most skilled member. Hold a team meeting to explain the change and collaborate on reassigning. Privately ask the senior member to take the ownership. Send an email. Confirm the project scope has been updated to include the deliverable. Meet with these officials to review the communication plan and clarify the deliverable. Check the attendance record. Meet with these officials to review the communication plan, clarify the deliverable. During a status meeting with city official, project manager provides an update about the significant. Some of the officials claim they were not informed about this limit. What should the meet with this official to review the communication plan and clarify the deliverable? Okay, I selected requirement traceability metrics in this. Although it says a project manager is overseeing the construction of a new office, a key stakeholder complained they never received the structural integrity test report. The project manager provides the report, but and the stakeholder noticed that an important aspect of the structure was not. Which tool should the project manager have used to prevent the situation? Stakeholder register. Uh, Although I don't know why. Stakeholder register will have all the stakeholders, and will there be anything else in the stakeholders register? Let me just check. Give me a minute, I'll just go back. Where is my PMBOK guide? It's best if we have like something to check that. Let's read it out. What does the stakeholder register have? Okay. Stakeholder register, a project document that includes information about project stakeholder, including an assessment and classification of project stakeholders. Okay, but what about their work? Do we have that too? Okay, okay, so basically, yeah, we missed the stakeholder. We didn't acknowledge him, or oh, yeah. Hmm. Keystone that they never received. So they never received the structure report, status report. So basically, the stakeholder, yeah, he should have checked the stakeholder register to prevent the situation. Yeah, right. Because we have overlooked the stakeholder, and we should have communicated with him. But since we didn't see the stakeholder register, we were unable to communicate. Conduct a workshop with an SME to address, discuss with the SME, arrange for SME to provide this training section. There is a skill gap in the team, so training session will help. Direct the product owner to provide data protection feature, conduct an impact and plan, have the legal team implement the government, request detailed information about the news. Yes. Apply phase development approach to validate the project scope at each milestone. Collaborate with the product owner to establish a clear minimum viable product. Enhance team client communication protocol. Implement strict deliverable schedule to force clarity in client interaction. Okay, it says a project manager is initiating a new software development project for a client known for their vague requirements. So the previous interaction with this client have led to the misunderstanding about the project scope and deliverable. Eh, what strategy should the project manager use? I Earlier I selected apply a phase development approach. The second is collaborate with the product owner to establish a clearer minimum viable product. Schedule a meeting with senior management to seek their guidance on adjusting the decision making process. Support the team initiative to take on decision making responsibilities while retaining final approval authority for critical decisions. Support the team's training foundation. Okay. Work with the team and stakeholder to adjust future release time based on expectations. Set up a process. Take control of communication. Ask the project sponsor to resolve. Work with the team and stakeholder to adjust. Evaluate how using the new communication tool could impact the current timeline and workflow. Update the communication manual. Have the team test. So I used evaluation, but the answer is to test the proposed tool. So I don't know how we should select this. Let's just break down the question and try to come up with some understanding wherein I could resonate with the answer. So first thing is a project manager is overseeing an agile project for developing a new mobile application within a large tech company. Okay. Initially, the project manager planned to use email for the project communication. However, the product owner suggests using a specialized project management tool that better integrate with the agile workflows. What should the project manager do? I said evaluate how using this communication tool could impact the current timelines and workflow before making a decision. Although I think this is also a very nice answer, but better answer in this situation is how have the team test the proposed tool on a small part of the project before deciding whether to implement across the team or not. So technically the both answers are very much similar. In one we are saying that evaluate how using this will impact the current timelines and workflows before making a decision. And the second says that test the proposed tool on a small part of the project before deciding whether to implement across the entire team. Okay, so how to put it in words so that we have an understanding of it. So, first says that we need to evaluate, which is a time consuming task, right? But it will not have a fruitful result. We could say yes or no. But doing the pilots is the best option. So here we are saying that if we run it on a small part of the project, we will have a concrete evidence that this piece of information worked or didn't work. But if it worked, then we're good to go. All right. After that, it is possible that after we do this small test, we can evaluate how this will impact the current timeline and workflows. It can happen, like it can be a second step, but the first step should be have the team test the proposed tool on a small part. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, I'm just trying to absorb this information. Prioritize and address the impediments based on their impact on the most valuable feature of the platform. Conduct a risk assessment to evaluate how the impediment might affect the project timeline. Impediment Implement a phased approach to solving the issue, starting with those that impact the current sprint. Remove the item and add new. The second and fourth is totally wrong. Not wrong, but not right in this situation. Um, First and third, I used third the last time. Implement a phased approach to solving the issue, starting with those that impact the current sprint. It is not solving the issue. We have challenging things, but our priority should be on the most valuable feature. So that's why first is the correct option here. Create a detailed timeline with milestone to monitor project progress and control change. Introduce a rigorous change management process to evaluate and improve additional feature requests. Promote regular synchronization between the team to discuss project schedule and what to do for. Organize workshop with all major stakeholders to create the project agenda and clarify the definition of done. Observing that other projects stumble without a well-defined project scope and completion guide leading to continuous improvement, the project manager wanted to prevent similar issue. What proactive step? Okay, workshop is a good option. Facilitate a session to revisit and clarify the project goal with the entire team. Meet with the project sponsor. Make sure the project outcomes align with the project charter and scope. Assign the departmental head. So this is the first I use. I think third option maybe. Throughout the project, it becomes apparent that team members from different departments have different perspective on how the final outcome of the project should be. When team doesn't have a clarity, then we need to what is the project man? He should clarify the goals, project goal to the entire team. Adjust the project financial forecast to account the economic downturn. Suggest to the project sponsor that the project should be postponed. Redirect some project resources to support the other essential project within the organ. Identify and document new risk in the risk management and create mitigation strategies. It says economic downturn may suddenly threaten the project viability. What should do? You should document the risk in the risk management plan and create the mitigation strategies. Okay, project manager starting a advise the team to focus on the current deliverable, review the project charter to confirm the high level scope, develop a detailed plan for the entire project based on history, confirm with stakeholder and plan the full scope. Okay, in this situation, the state transportation requested an initial environmental impact assessment after which they will decide whether to continue. A key member suggest planning for the full project based on the past trends. What should the project manager do first? Starting a highway expansion project. So I chose confirm with stakeholder and plan the full project scope. It says the my answer prompts it says that it will be a very time consuming task to create the full project scope. It's better to review the project charter to confirm the high level scope. Basically, what it's saying is since we are going to start the highway expansion project charter has already been approved. So we should take into account the project charter and we can confirm the high level scope to the transportation department from there itself. Align the project plan with the organization strategic goals, work closely with senior manager, develop a training and communication management, ensure collaboration with the team, create a detailed budget and schedule regular reviews with the finance, coordinate with the operation department, minimize disruption during the upgrade. Project manager is overseeing the upgrade of an old manufacturing system to a new automated solution, aligning with the organization's operational process changes. The project charter is approved and the PMO has provided the template for all. Okay, okay. What should the project manager prioritize? He should develop a training and communication management plan, ensuring collaboration with the team. Why the other three options are not correct. First of all, the charter is already approved. So our project should uh, be aligned with the strategic goals, work closely with senior member. This has already been approved. So most probably all these things, three things have already been taken into account. So the only thing left when the charter is approved is to develop training and communication management plan. Verify that all project objectives have been met according to the project plan. Conduct a final inspection with the sponsor to ensure all tasks in the WPS are complete. So this particular statement is scope validation, and scope validation is done by doing a inspection with the sponsor will be doing the inspection, that is, and then they will scope scope validation will happen after that particular phase will be completed. So i I did I I actually chose the other option, like why if all the project objectives have been met according to the project plan. But while doing these questions, we should always remember that what is the hierarchy of things, how they happen. For example, uh, when we complete a deliverable, it should go through the quality checks, and then it should be verified. The scope should be verified, and then we should update the lesson learned register, and then we should close the phase. So this is how the thing information flows. So when we get some question, we should always try to relate it to the process. Here it is saying that transition the project to the city's maintenance department before closing the project. So we are closing the project, and when we close the project, what are all the things that we need to do? That we need to get our scope validated. And who will be validating it? Sponsor will be validating it. So second is the right answer. Calculate cost by evaluating individual task estimates from the team considering their current workload. Yeah. So I uh, I I chose leverage the combined expertise of the sponsor and product owner to budget estimate to drive the budget estimates. But the answer is calculate the cost by estimate by evaluating individual task estimate. Whenever we are doing the estimates, team is the best, like the project team is the best person to do the estimates. So the first will be the answer for this. Initiate a project kickoff workshop to ensure all team members are trained on the agile tools and techniques used for the project. Establish a risk management framework that specifically addresses potential misalignment between team output and strength. Develop an integration plan to systematically align development work with ensure the project vision and objective for each sprint effectively communicated to all. Okay, a project manager is seeing a agile project to develop a new e-commerce platform. At the project retrospective, the team discusses that product owners' expectation for the sprint development not fully met. What proactive measure should the manager have undertaken? So he should have clarified the project vision and spec and the objective. If we are not meeting what we were committed, what we have committed, then the vision and objective was not met, was not propagated to the team. Convene a meeting with the project steering committee to discuss the future. Initiate discussion in the next team. Refer the question to the technical arm. Collaborate with the product owner to resolve the ambiguity in the acceptance criteria. Schedule an emergency meeting. Initiate a quick training session for the technical team. Record the problem, its impact and urgency in the project issue log for structured tracking. Okay. So during the execution phase of a software development, when we are executing something and we face any issue, that will go into the issue log. We just need to check for the things. For example, execution phase. If it would have been in the planning phase, then we would have mentioned it in the risk registers. But since in the execution phase we encountered a technical challenge is an issue and it should be recorded in the issue log. Initiate a discussion to directly address and understand the concern leading to the conflict. Distribute a detailed meeting summary and request with written form. Conduct a formal risk analysis to evaluate the impact of missing stakeholder. Develop a contingency plan. Hmm. Strategic alignment expected business management resulting their feedback being on this oversight has led to conflict. Initiate a discussion to directly address and understand the concern leading to the conflict. Have a senior team member do a meeting. Update the project risk register to reflect the potential impact. Brief the project stakeholder on the situation to set realistic exam expectation on delays. Proactively collaborate with the other team member to formulate a plan for transition and mitigate project disruption. During a crucial phase, a pivotal team member informed the project manager their impending resignation. Okay, he should collaborate with the team. Recommend dividing tasks into subtasks to improve manageability and estimation accuracy. Incorporate insights from technology consultant to refine project specifications. Establish a comprehensive risk management framework to anticipate and mitigate potential delays. Organize workshop with the development team to solidify the project's technical requirement and assist team in proposing MVP. Our tech startup is gearing up to launch a groundbreaking app by the upcoming summer. However, during initial planning, they encounter significant uncertainty in project specification. They are not sure how stakeholders will use the project. What action should the project manager take to ensure the project stays on tracks? Propose, assign the team, assess the team in proposing a MVP. When the situation is ambiguous, we should propose MVP. Okay. Schedule additional planning sessions specifically focused on logistical challenge. Assign a dedicated team and prioritize the logistical challenge based on their potential impact on the event. Initiate a one-on-one briefing for stakeholder needed detailed explanation. Organize a workshop. Evaluate the specific information needs of the stakeholder. Launch a project blog. During the execution phase, the project manager uses email update to keep all stakeholder in feedback, indicate that some stakeholder find the information either too technical or to evaluate the specific information needs. Increase the frequency of project status, reallocate resources to the most delayed aspect, adjust the project timeline, facilitate a collaborative session. Reevaluate the project scope to identify non-essential that can be postponed, adjust the project timeline, increase the project budget, use advanced technology. The project manager assesses the situation to determine the accelerating the project schedule responsibly by overlapping certain processes. What is the adjust the project timeline by sequencing work to allow for parallel activities. I think I selected this and I was right. We could just adjust. Reevaluating will be time consuming, so we should not reevaluate the project scope. Arrange for regular one-on-one meeting with each developer to discuss and document the effort. Develop clear, quantifiable criteria for evaluating the performance. Yes. Organizing a meeting with the stakeholder to understand the concern and identify potential. Launch a pilot phase to demonstrate the project effectiveness and just based on early result. Enhance communication. Outline the long-term benefits. he should organize a meeting. Sorry. I did negotiate but initiate an assessment to on the timeline budget. Subsequent, the initial phase involving the upgrade of this did to share technical teams. Okay. Proceed with the design team's recommendation to maximize energy of organize collaboration and find a compromise. Update the product immediately to include this. Note the suggestion for inclusion. Encourage the executive feedback. Encourage them to formalize the schedule shorter meetings to encourage more phone designator timekeeper to ensure meeting. Emphasize the meeting objective and agenda. Schedule a dedicated section where only the technical analysts present their finding. Actively solicit the analysts on importance of their expertise to the project success. Prioritize the work to meet the agreed upon specifications. Accepting the project timeline may need to be extended. Suggest a partial delivery of the with non-compliant feature. Propose a compromise on the spec. Consult with the development team to find a faster and that will reduce the delay while attempting to meet the specification. Build a cross-functional team. During a critical phase of an agile project, a specialist responsible for designing a key component is unexpectedly right to take assignment. The specialist tasks are now at a risk of delay as they were the sole cross-functional team. Develop a risk breakdown structure, conduct a sensitivity analysis, use current to trace the origin of each risk, perform a Monte Carlo simulation. Incorporate the regulation in the project risk log for future and plan to address the regulatory changes. Discussion of the regulation into the project phase requires immediate detailed information on the project during the next. Okay. Okay. Now 51 to 100. Let's start. Finish developing the application and then correct all features not aligning with this. Proceed with the creation of an MVP. Pause development of an until a comprehensive market analysis. Provide clear guidance on user. Instruct the development to incorporate the most popular feature of the completing features of competing application to ensure relevance. During a mobile application, the project manager faces significant uncertainty regarding user preference and the effectiveness of the proposed feature. The initial user feedback has been inconclusive, leading to questions about the project's current direction. What is the best course of action the project manager to ensure the project aligns with user? I think we should do the most popular feature first. Organize a collaborative workshop with representatives from both them to discuss compliance strategies and integration possible. Conduct separate workshop for each team to allow focus discussion. Facilitate individual strategy session with each team to outline their approach, followed by joint session to merge ideas. Assemble a panel of regulator compliance experts to provide guidance and recommendation to both teams. In anticipation of a new environmental regulation and manufacturing project involving two distinct operational teams, one using traditional manufacturing method and the other employing green technology, and they need to evaluate the impact of these regulation on their combined operations. Okay, that is the most effective action for the project manager to ensure compliance and seamless integration. Collaborative workshop. Implement a competitive reward system to incentivize individual excellence and drive project outcome. Direct the team to refine their strategy continuously until they devise an unbeatable plan for project. Evaluate the project scope meticulously and set clear prioritized goal to encourage team alignment and focus. Establish clear project goal and nurture a supportive environment that enables every team member to excel and contribute to their fullest potential. Huh. The goal on a project is to foster a culture of cooperation that derives the team towards exceptional performance. Okay, following a recommendation from the company's founder, the project manager decided to adopt a servant leadership approach. What should the project manager do to effectively embody the servant leadership? He should establish clear project goal and nurture a support environment that enables every team member to excel and contribute to their fullest potential. Arrange for the new member to shadow an experienced team member for a hands-on learning experience. Encourage the new member to study the project documentation thoroughly, followed by a session to discuss their role. Schedule a series of training webinars. Facilitate a workshop with the team, focus on project's complexity, and ensure all current member and the new member attend. I think this the the make sure and the new member attend, ensure all current member and new member, the language of this answer I don't like, so it should be shadowing. Develop a rotational task assignment system to ensure all team members gain experience across range of tasks. Directly assign tasks based on complexity to ensure that each member works within their capability. Establish a mentorship program where senior team member guide junior through complex tasks rather than just delegating simpler tasks. Organize a team discussion during next project update meeting to evaluate the effectiveness of current task delegation methods. In a routine progress check, an agile project manager noticed that a lead engineer is habitually passing off less complex analysis work to newer team members, claiming it allows them to concentrate on the project. What should the project manager do? Okay, it's okay. Fourth is not directly assign tasks. No. First and third. Establish a mentorship or senior team member guide junior through. So we have a problem wherein lead analysts are giving less complex task. So there are newer members. So how can we solve this problem? I think if we do a mentorship program where senior member guide junior member through complex tasks rather than just delegating simpler tasks, will it solve the problem? Yes. Expedite the process by incorporating the new feature without revising the project plan. Calculate the additional cost and request an immediate increase and reject the request outright to maintain focus on the original project. Discuss the implication of the request with the development, then present feasible solution to the stakeholder. This will be the answer. I'm not going through the question. Initiate a monthly newsletter featuring project milestone challenges and delay case studies. Arrange for a series of workshops with the project manager to strengthen the project's impact. Organize a virtual meeting with government partner to discuss how they would like the project updates to be done and field any question. Compile an exhaustive report on project outcomes. Okay. In a development phase of an international public health project, a project manager faces skepticism from government partners about the project's direction and achievements due to limited visibility into the project's progress. What action should the project manager take to address these concerns? Workshop. The manager faces skepticism from government partners about the project direction and achievement due to limited visibility into the project. Virtual meeting. Organize virtual meeting. Project beneficiaries and project government partners. I think we have a problem with government partners, and we should entertain. We should get in touch with the government partners. I request that the compliance officer formalizes the regulatory updates in writing and submit. I encourage the compliance owner to detail the regulatory changes for inclusion. Instruct the compliance officer to immediately communicate the changes to the development team. Ask the compliance officer to assess the current project plan and suggest modification. During the implementation phase of an innovative mobile application, a significant update from regulator requires adjustment to several key features of the application. The agile project manager arranges a meeting with the responsible regulatory compliance officer who is new to the project to discuss these required changes for the agile project. What action should the project manager take to ensure these updates are efficiently integrated in the project scope? Request. He should provide it in writing and submit them for approval from the change control board. Hmm, I like the second option also. In the product backlog, I think I should go through CCB. But CCB isn't CCB a traditional method? Okay, it should be added to the product backlog. Okay, see, I don't know whether my answer is right or wrong, but I selected that CCB because it sounded like great, right. But CCB is a traditional method approach. But when we are on agile project, we make changes to our product backlog. So I think it's second. A project manager notices that the integration is more cumbersome than. Uh, let's go through the options first. Introduce additional trading section for the project on the new IT protocol to increase efficiency. Require the project team to double their effort to meet the deadlines. Organize a workshop to identify workaround for the protocol that do not compromise. Initiate discussion with IT leadership and team to understand the protocol's implementation and how to facilitate the project. A project manager notices that the integration process is more cumbersome than anticipated, significantly slowing down the project's progress. This issue is primarily due to a new implemented IT protocol that was designed to enhance the security, which is the discussion. Calculate the new features impact by comparing it with the total project budget and adjusting based on the proportion of work already completed. Meet the product owner to help you estimate the schedule and cost. Review the agile user stories and velocity metric from the previous sprint related to the similar feature to estimate the effort required for the new addition. Initiate a detailed risk analysis for incorporating a new feature, focusing on potential schedules, overruns, and budget implications. Okay. As the project manager of an app development project, you are approached by a stakeholder with a request to add a feature that mirrors the functionality of something developed in a previous sprint. Okay, the stakeholder is looking for a quick estimation on how this addition might affect the project schedule and cost. Okay, what should you take to accurately provide this estimation? Okay, okay, no, estimates should be done with the team. Review, review the agile user stories and results metric for the previous related estimate the effort required for the new addition. I think this one. Adjust the project timeline and communicate the changes to all stakeholders. Conduct a detailed analysis of the performance data to identify root cause of the variance. Request additional resources. Reassess the project risk management strategies to better align with the current challenges. During complex software development project, a project manager notices significant variance between the plan and actual performance. The project's key deliverables are at risk of being delayed due to these discrepancies. What should the project manager do first to ensure the project objectives are met? Yeah, okay. See, it says, what should the project manager do first to ensure the project objectives are met? In such situations, I just feel I have like two answers in mind. One is, it is saying that what should he do first to ensure project objectives are met? So, project, if we do an analysis, it doesn't. it will not help in our project objectives. But if we adjust the timeline and communicate the changes to stakeholders, it will ensure that we meet our project objectives or to add additional resources. But let's go with the detailed analysis. But I'm very not sure about this particular thing. In a large infrastructure project, the project manager is faced with challenge of certain regulatory change that could potentially impact the scope and cost. The project is currently on track, but these changes might require adjustment. What should the project manager do? Update the project budget, initiate a stakeholder meeting, conduct a comprehensive review. Value engineering, critical path method, earn value and option. Project manager is overseeing a construction of a new office building. The project is running over budget due to the high cost of material. The project team suggests several options to cut cost, including using less expensive material that may slightly reduce durability, simplifying the building design, or eliminating some non-essential features. Which approach should project manager use to address the cost issue while ensuring the building meets intended purpose? Critical path method, I think, is not right. Value engineering and earned value and option. Option, I haven't heard of this particular term. Earned value, I think, is like how much money we are spending and what value we are getting. So it should be value engineering. Although I didn't read it anywhere. So let's just check my PMBOK. You value metric variance velocity chart. Value engineering is not there. I can't. Value streamer, value proposition, value delivery system, value user story and use case. Value engineering, I can't. Earn value, let's check. Earn value. Earn earn value. The measure of work performed expressed in terms of budget or authorized for that work. The measure of work performed expressed in terms of the budget authorized for that work. Option, critical path method. Let's just check. Critical path method is not. Mm, mm, mm. So I'm not sure which one is the right option. Critical path method is not. On value is not. I guess option is not. So value engineering. Although I couldn't find this word in PMBOK, but still let's just go for it. Propose a follow-up session to address unresolved issue with the meeting. Facilitate the meeting actively using conflict resolution strategies to manage the dispute and maintain team cohesion. Adjourn the meeting. Arrange a separate conflict resolution session with the neutral facilitator to assist the parties involved. During a project charter review session, dispute arises between the project sponsor and product owner, witnessed by the project team and the other stakeholders. In this situation, what should the project manager do to manage the conflict and continue the project planning? Okay. think he should act as a facilitator in this situation. Develop a simple categorization scheme that only includes high priority risk. Use existing RBS template from a similar program and adapt to it to the current project need. Create detailed risk breakdown structure with multiple subcategories to capture all potential. Involve key stakeholders in the development of RBS to ensure it is comprehensive and manageable. A project manager is tasked with organizing risk for a new infrastructure project. To ensure comprehensive risk management, the project manager decides to use a risk breakdown structure. However, the team is concerned that the RBS may become overly complex and difficult to manage. What should the project manager do to create an effective and manage a RBS? Multiple I think involve key stakeholders to ensure it is comprehensive and manageable. Have the team conduct a brainstorm session to remove functions for cost reduction. Focus solely on reducing cost. Engage with stakeholders to understand the critical function. Implement all proposed changes immediately to maximize cost saving. In a construction project, the project manager is to implement value engineering. Okay, to enhance the project's value. The goal is to improve the ratio of function to cost by analyzing and proposing cost effective solution. Ratio of function to cost by analyzing and proposing cost effective solution. What is the project manager? Engage with stakeholder to understand the critical function. Hmm. Approve the changes as it reduces or reject the changes. Evaluate if the reduction in performance impact the project functionality compared to the cost. Implement the change does not require this. Okay, see, I didn't heard about the value engineering, but I'm getting the question, so it is a term. Workshop to identify ways to improve a project value. During the session, team members suggest replacing a component with a cheaper alternative that slightly reduces the performance but saves a significant amount of money. What should the project manager do to determine if the suggestion aligns with the value engineering principles? Evaluate if the reduction in performance impact the project's functionality. Apply the SPI to the remaining work and calculate the easy. Conduct a Monte Carlo simulation to account for potential variations in the schedule. Use a CPM to reevaluate the project. Implement a rolling wave planning technique to adjust future work plans. A project manager is working on a large infrastructure project that is facing schedule delays. The project manager wants to use advanced forecasting technique to predict the future status and progress of the project. The team has been using EVM to track the performance. What should the project manager do to Monte Carlo is a let me help you with the definition. Uh, Monte Carlo simulation, a method of identifying the potential impact of risk and uncertainty using multiple iteration of a computer model to develop a probability distribution of a range of outcome that could result from a decision or course of action. So, Monte Carlo. Conduct a trend analysis using historical data. Apply the EVM to calculate the time variance. Utilize the 3-point estimation technique to forecast the future task. Perform a resource leveling analysis to optimize the resource allocation. A software development project is midway through the timeline and the project manager notices that the actual progress is lagging behind the planned schedule. The project sponsor is concerned about meeting the upcoming. What technique should the project manager use to address the sponsor's concern and predict the project's completion date? Time variance. Utilize the 3-point technique to forecast the future task. Perform a resource leveling analysis to implement trend analysis using the historical performance data. Project completion date. time calculate the time variance. I think 3 point estimate is the completion date. I think we can do it in 3 point estimates. Let's just check the definition. 3 point estimate, 3 or time and material. 3 point estimate, it's PERT, right? Let's not waste our time because resource leveling is something else. I know if I do some research, I will come with it. I will select the right option, but I have a time constraint. I need to rush to my office, and I'm already late, so I'm just doing it in a hurry. EVM, to calculate the time variance, we can earn value management we can do, but it will not solve. Like we need the completion date. Resource leveling is resource allocation process, like how much work our team can do. 3 point estimate and conduct a trend analysis. So these are two options. I think we should conduct a trend analysis. Also, 3 point estimation technique is optimistic, pessimistic, and realistic value divided by 3. It will give us the uh, PERT analysis, right? PERT, PERT. 3.3. Uh, let's just go. I don't have so much of time. Update the can chart with the new weather delay information. Manually adjust the timeline. Use Monte Carlo simulation. Project the bottom various completion days based on the delay. Apply CPM analysis to identify which activities can be fast tracked. Perform a cost benefit analysis to decide whether to hire additional resources to mitigate the delays. A construction project is experiencing significant delay due to many unforeseen weather conditions causing concern about meeting the final line. The project manager need to predict the potential impact on the project completion date and communicate this what is the best approach for the I think he should perform a cost benefit and whether to hire additional resource. Monte Carlo simulation. Provide the audit team with all project documents and request a thorough review. Prepare the project team to answer any question for the audit team. Collaborate with the audit team to understand their findings and develop corrective action. Immediately halt the production process until all non-conformances are resolved. Develop and implement corrective action to address the non-conformance identified by the audit team. Dismiss the non-conformance and minor issues. Inform the project sponsor about the non-conformance. During the execution phase of a manufacturing project, an internal quality audit revealed several non-conformances in the production process. The audit team has identified this issue as potential risk to the project success. What should the project manager do? He should develop and implement corrective action to address the non-conformances identified by the audit team. Continue with the current project and monitor if the non-conformances escalate. Request the project sponsor to review the to adjust the project scope to account for the identifier. Integrate the recommended corrective action from the audit report into the project plan. In the middle of a large-scale infrastructure project, the project manager received a report from an external quality auditor highlighting several significant non-conformances. These issues, if not addressed, could impact the project's timeline and budget. What should the project manager do to manage these effectively? Integrate the recommended corrective action from the audit report into the project plan. Now I'm in a hurry and I might select wrong answers. Project manager preparing to oversee the development of a new mobile application. During a stakeholder meeting, a senior executive expresses concern that the project may not align with the strategic goal of the organization. The project manager needs to address this concern to ensure continued support. What should you do? Reassure, review the project alignment, schedule a follow-up meeting with the executive, discuss the project's benefit, and conduct a performance review of the project in 0.5 areas for review the project's alignment with this strategic goals. If there is any concern, we should need to address it. Halt all the project until a full compliance review is conducted. Update the project plan to include additional quality control and notify the regulator about the potential. Conduct a root cause analysis to identify the reason for non-compliance. Implement corrective action. Strict compliance and company standard. During a routine review, the project manager discovered that some project activities may not meet the required standards. Project manager to adjust the project timeline to reduce the labor cost. Consult with your technical engineer for a more effective solution. Implement a phased construction approach. Analyze the situation and consider all possible options. In the construction of a new office building, the project manager learned that unforeseen or geological issue will see increase project cost beyond the current budget. What should the project manager do next? Analyze the situation, consider the option. Initiate a review of the project scope to identify potential area for schedule acceleration. Collaborate with the project team to assess the project deliverable to focus on enhancement. Engage with the stakeholder to adjust expectation and secure support for extended timeline. Communicate the progress and adjust the timeline of these enhancements to the finance team. As the project manager overseeing the rollout of a new IT system, it is discovered halfway through the fiscal year that several critical features It's discovered halfway through the fiscal year that several critical software enhancements funded by this year's budget will not be completed on schedule. These enhancements were initiated based on media change requests and calculation for the collaborate with the team to assess the project deliverable to focus on critical enhancement. Provide a detailed report on team productivity and individual contribution to the compile the EVM metrics including CV and SV for a comprehensive performance review. Discuss the implementation of a new project management tool and its impact on project. Outline the risks encountered so far and mitigation strategies that have been implemented. In the midst of a major software development project, the project manager is preparing for an upcoming executive in-depth review. The project manager must present how the project progress is being tracked and measured to the execution team who are keen to understand how effectively the project is being managed. Mm. Hmm. Organize series of cross-cultural training sessions for team members, educate them about cultural differences, set up a digital collaboration space for personal and professional, arrange for in monthly face-to-face related communication, leading a new agile global environmental conservation project. The project manager oversees the diversity distributed across several continents, recognizing the diverse cultural background within the team. The project manager aims to foster unity and come out as the effective action, cross cultural trainings, sessions, whatever. Utilize agile methodologies to ensure rapid delivery of high priority features. Implement a waterfall method to automate testing and deployment. Establish and dedicate data. At the onset of a healthcare software upgrade project, the client emphasizes that the enhancements are critical to improving the patient care and operational efficiency, potentially affecting the healthcare provider performance. The client is able to see improvement in the shortest time. Agile is the option. Increase the workload on existing team to cover the task of the department. Outsource work with the remaining team. Apply for project timeline extension. Work with the remaining team member to recruit new team member. Outsource specific critical. Oh God, no. All the answers are very bad. In the middle of an urban development project, the project manager faces a setback as a key engineer and an urban announce their imminent departure from the team. The project is already on a strict timeline with a critical milestone approaching. The remaining team members are concerned about the increased volume and potential impact on the apply for timeline. Outsource is also an option, I guess. Mm-hmm. Um, Schedule meeting then to address the concern. Introduce resolve to one doctor to lean, accept that lean, organize a comprehensive seminar on the history and principle of lean. A firm is planning to transition to lean development technique. The project manager encounters resistance from several worldwide key stakeholders. Very often the new project manager need to build confidence in lean methodologies. Schedule a meeting to address the concern. Arrange a meeting with the new CTO to outline the project management strategic alignment. Prepare a detailed report comparing the current status with the initiative project order, develop a contingency plan. Leading a significant initiative overhaul IT infrastructure, the project manager has already navigated through several phases successfully when the CTO overseeing the initiative departs. The incoming CTO then pauses the initiative pending a comprehensive review of the project's alignment with the company's revised technological line. What is the most effective step for the project manager to do? Arrange a meeting, outline the project manager strategic alignment, prepare a initiative project. So just implementing a quick prototype to better gauge the necessary effect, allow the team additional time to research and independently reassess their assessment, request each member to detail their estimation plan, foster a group consensus, assign the team estimation to the most experienced developer to set a standard for the other. In the midst of estimating tasks for a major upgrade, to an existing application, project manager finds that the development team has different view on the effort required for a particular challenging major. What approach should the project manager do to synchronize the hiring estimate? Suggest implementing a quick prototype, allow the team additional time, request each team member to detail their estimation process, and foster a group consensus. Engage in a detailed discussion with the product owner about any resistant customer feedback, intensify the development team effort on refinement existing feature, pause the introduction of additional feature to prioritize add a new user-friendly checkpoint process to the platform. Hmm. During rollout of a new e-commerce and agile project manager observe a trend of customer gravitating toward a company which recently introduced a highly user-friendly checkout process. What is the first action he should talk with the product owner? Evaluation of the platform compatibility with the legacy system and user adaptability, precise and need analysis within key business sector to ensure the platform meets specific. Broad consultations on future proofing the platform against evolving data analysis, streamlining the cross functional workflows to minimize disruption during the platform implementation. In the process of initiating an advanced analytical analytics platform to enhance the data driven decision making across its various functions, an organization is integrating a solution that is new to the technological landscape. What should the project manager emphasize? Hmm, okay. Is it compatible with the legacy data system and user adaptability evaluation? Implement the anonymous feedback system to collect opinions on meeting conduct. Reassign the dominating team member to tasks that require less collaboration. Reassign the dominating team member to tasks that shift to written daily updates. Arrange a private conversation with the dominating to discuss their conduct a thorough re-evaluation of the project timeline with input from all team members. Ensure every scope change has been properly logged and its impact assessed. Extend the project schedule as needed to finish the scope and engage directly with the key stakeholder to renegotiate project deliverables and timelines. During a critical phase of a technology implementation project, extensive and unforeseen changes to the project scope have led to significant project delays. Extensive and unforeseen changes to the project scope have led to project delays. These potential scope alternatives were flagged in the project's initial risk assessment. Concerned about the implication of the project's progress, the team proposed requesting extension from the project. Okay. Send a detailed progress report via email. Deploy the prototype to the client to gather their feedback. Schedule a comprehensive review session with the project technical lead to refine the problem for client. Ask sprint review to actively review the prototype and creating their input. As a project manager overseeing a pivotal update to a client software system, you have noticed a significant lack of engagement from the client side. Despite this, your team has successfully done. What is the first thing the project manager should do? Deploy the prototype to the client to gather their feedback. Change the project scope to include overlooked operational insight. Conduct a comprehensive review of the project adherence to the organizational plan. Review the communication management plan to understand the current communication challenge. Craft a reactive plan to integrate unforeseen operational into the project trajectory. In the midst of a project life cycle, a project manager identifies that essential feedback from vital operational division has been consistently omitted in the planning and execution phases. Then this negligence had led to the widespread dissatisfaction concerning how project outcome align with the operational workflows. What should the project manager do? Conduct a comprehensive review of the project's adherence to. Choose to assess specific area where the new staff member lacks expertise. Conduct reallocating the Curl tasks to more experienced, propose a brief project pause, establish mentorship pairing between new and seasoned professional for on-the-job training, suggest the new staff. Okay, in the midst of deploying IT infrastructure update, project manager identifies significant knowledge gap within the team, primarily among recently onboarded staff. With the project timeline and budget fully allocated, external training is not an option. Assess his expertise and then mentorship pairing between new and seasoned professional for on-the-job training. Advise the stakeholder to present their suggestion following the review of the present cycle. Recommend assessing the viability of these functionality of the subsequent team meetings. Swiftly revise the project development agenda. Have the product owner to engage with the stakeholder concerning the incorporation of their request into the ongoing project. While working on an innovative web platform, a project manager received a request from a crucial stakeholder for the inclusion of several unforeseen functionality within the current agile development cycle. What should the advise them to present their suggestions? Recommend assessing the viability of these functionality of the subsequent team planning meeting. Safely revise the project and have the product owner to engage with the stakeholders concerning the incorporation of the request. And all the answers are very badly put, to be honest, and it doesn't make sense. Unforeseen functionalities. Okay, advise the stakeholder to present their suggestion following the review of the present cycle. I don't understand what the answer is trying to say. Recommend assessing the viability of these functionality at the subsequent team planning meeting. Who recommend to whom? Swiftly revise the project development agenda to encompass the requested functionality. Have the product owner to engage with the stakeholder. I don't know. Coordinate with the human resources to discuss potential post-project opportunities for team member. Conduct motivational workshop to re-energize the team. Initiate a peer recognition program to highlight the individual and foster teams to enforce a strict attendance policy. At the deadline for a critical project approaches, the project manager notices a decrease in team enthusiasm with several team members consistently arriving late. Initiate a peer recognition, because this answer I have answered earlier also. That's why I know. Is initiate a peer recognition program, because it will motivate the team and will help in the team spirit. WBS. Okay. During the development of new healthcare software system, the project manager requires that the project owner prioritize features that will significantly enhance patient data processing. Which tool should the project? Which tool should the project? Which tool should the project and owner? क्या which tool should the project owner? The project manager requests that the project owner prioritize features that will significantly enhance patient data processing efficiency. Product backlog. Project owner use. It should be product owner. Which tool should the product owner use? Have the team initiate a cross training program enabling team member to understand and perform each other's role during absences. Organize monthly knowledge exchange session. Engage external and establish an integrated project to share information. During the final stage of a significant program, it was discovered that the comprehensive report on critical structural assessment performed by a key engineer has since departed the company, documented or shared with the project team to mitigate such risk in the future. What should have been implemented by the project manager during the project? Integrated project management information system to ensure to share the information. And cross-functional should have been have the team initiate why should will the team initiate a cross training program? It should be the project manager, right? So the wording of the first one is not right, the other two is not correct as per me, so it should be fourth. Such as the creation of monthly detailed project updates for a comprehensive review, establish structured online communication platform for frequent and organized team interaction, recommend open forum, organize bi-weekly emails. Okay, as a project manager, initiates a project with a fully remote team, ensuring effective communication become a challenge. What is the best approach for the project manager to maintain consistent information flow within the team, such as the creation of monthly detailed project update for our company, structured online communication platform for frequent and organized interactions, implemented a weekly risk review session with the project's core team to identify any challenges in the risk landscape, instituted a monthly risk tracking system to monitor the project risk, maintained a policy of zero tolerance for all risk, ensuring every potential response is addressed immediately upon identification. Undertaken continuous assessment and prioritization of risk throughout the project life cycle. As a complex project draws to close, a project manager realizes that several risks initially assessed as low probability and evolve into significant issue, catching the project team off guard. What proactive step? Undertaken continuous assessment and prioritization. Clarify to stakeholders that the timeline adherence and completed deliverables are the primary indicator of success, ensuring that the project is on right track. Highlight stakeholder the inherent fluctuations in value perception due to varying nature of resources and expected benefits at different project stages. Communicate to stakeholders that it is common practice to tackle the most value-adding elements first, resulting in a perceived decrease in value as the project progresses. Analyze the trends in value delivery with the team to identify any underlying issue. Devise strategies for consistent value provision and transparently relay these plans to stakeholders. In a project designed to deploy new technology across several departments, a project manager notices a shift in stakeholder satisfaction level. Despite the project adhering to its timeline delivery being met, feedback indicates a perception diminishing returns in terms of value from the recent project increments. What approach should the project manager take to address these concerns? He should analyze. Engage a reputable software development firm to ensure the tool aligns with this industry standard. Recruit a chief quality officer to oversee the quality control process throughout the development. Establish specific quality benchmark for the software tool and continuously seek ways to enhance instruct the lead developer to prioritize refining the software performance and user experience. In the initial stages of launching a pioneer software tool aimed at small businesses, the project manager is focused on ensuring the tool's quality resonate with the target audience. Okay, what approach should the project manager employ to ascertain the software tool embodies the highest quality? Specific quality environment to enhance. Analyze the proposed change for its strategic alignment and potential impact on business outcomes. Notify the project steering committee about the client shift toward the digital and implement the change to the project timeline and let the project team current and clients are monitored by the new technologies. The pivotal client proposes the introduction of new core based on mid project, significant deviating from the initial technology stack. Outline the suggestion align with the client's ongoing digital transformation, which should the project manager analyze the proposal. Okay, let's just submit this. I have done 100, but although it will be very problematic because I did all my 100 questions, so I will not know how much percentage I got out of 50. So let's just see how many wrong answers and how many right. And then, okay, I got 86. Okay, 86%. Okay, but I need to see which questions are, how many is from the first 50 and how many is from the next one. All 50 questions are right, I guess. Oh my god, and it doesn't have numbering. How will I know which one is correct and which one is wrong? Okay, thank god, one is wrong. On the project CRM system, the most appropriate one by the project remains compliant with the new regulatory immediate integrate it in the risk. Okay, yeah. To proceed with creation of an MPP. Okay. Just two. Okay. 2, 3. Okay. Facilitate a workshop with the team. Mm, Now I don't know. Let's just start from the 100 so that I know. I don't know which one is the 100th. Shit. I should have done this 51st. Hmm. So this is the 101. This is the 100th. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's all. Okay. Near completion. I should do. Okay. 8th, 9th. Okay. So this one requires involving functioning. The product owner should engage with the stakeholder to evaluate the understanding and how the plant is and whether it fits into the ongoing timeline, whether it should be added to the backlog for finish. Advancing the rate and design, assessing the viability, but the product owner must first analyze. Okay. 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 You should know to understand the current communication channel. The issue stems from lack of essential feedback from which suggests a communication gap. The first should be to review the communication and to identify whether sufficient was excluded, how communication can be shown their input is captured moving forward. Okay. Oh my god. This is the fourth answer wrong. Input and adjustments in the client has been designed should be to proactively re-engage them in the development process. Organize a sprint review with the stakeholder. If it would have been structured like this, I would have definitely. Okay, 4, 5. Okay, analyzing. Okay, 5, 6. Precise needs. Okay. So within key business sector to ensure the platform is specific and integrating a new NLT in the first priority should be to ensure that it aligns with the specific needs of the key business sectors. Yeah. I selected this answer, then I just went for the evaluation word. Since the project is on a strict timeline, the best approach is to work with the team to recruit the replacement for the departing given this ensure the expertise is retained, preventing overburdening the existing team. Continuity in the program, engaging the team in the requirement also helps ensure that the new member fits well in the program. While the increasing the workload is not outsourcing critical tasks to specialized firm may help in some cases, but it can introduce delay due to onboarding and contact will apply for a timeline extension should be a last resort. External program manager should attempt to mitigate resources by working with the team to recruit training members. Is this okay? 7, 8. Encourage open communication, demonstrate confident team abilities and contribute. Fostering open government, building trust are essential for effective government by encouraging open dialogue, demonstrating support. Okay. Allow for accurate forecasting of milestone completion. Okay, yeah, on value management, SPIs, and okay, these are 10. Okay, okay, yeah, okay, 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 yeah. So, basically, I got 12 questions wrong. So, 50, 12 out of 50. That means 38 divided by 50. Sorry, 38 divided by 50. I got 76%. But in total, if I see, I got 86%. Only 2 questions, 4 questions was wrong. It's good now. 76% is good. I need to complete it as soon as possible. My time is running out. I have my exam on 18th and I'm extremely stressed right now. I don't know how I will be performing because to be honest, I haven't read the PMBOK till now. I just did the Andrew Ramdayal course and I'm doing his mocks and everything, I will take the PMP SH. What is that? Study hall. I'll be taking those also, because I have completed all these drag and drop. I think these all everything it is on YouTube. So all the things I have completed already. That was there. I need to study the PMBOK also. So yeah, I just need to get it done. Bye. I will meet again tomorrow with the new mock text. Not new, but the remaining 200, 100 mock.